Yes, welcome back to ESL Pro League LAN Finals. The road does not get any easier for G2. After dropping over past two Immortals, it's the next Brazilian team, SK, and they've looked even better in this group stage so far. Undefeated, no rounds lost on their T side. G2 boys certainly have a hill to climb with this one, and they need this win. They're losing tiebreakers as well. It's looking like we might have a couple of those matches later on. They need to start picking up some wins.
Yeah, I think Yanko mentioned it. You know, this is starting to look like do or die for G2, and it's not obviously an easy situation to be in if you have to go up against the best team so far in the tournament to do so as well. And even then, you know, if they manage to overcome the obstacle that is SK, Fnatic is waiting in the wings after that. So yeah. It's not an easy time to be a French Counter-Strike player.
No, it's not at all. And actually, we can bring their roster up on the screen. We'll see who. I mean, we know all these names. We've gone over this plenty of times. Where are we at with this team, though, right now, Yanko? We talked a little bit about towards the end of that match. Just a little bit of, is it just a feeling of disappointment that kind of persists with the squad?
I have no idea where we are at the moment, because you would expect so much from them. As I said, in the first LAN tournament that we saw them play, they actually did show up. You know, it was what we would expect from them. But ever since then, even at these lower tier tournaments, they weren't as dominant as you would expect from this lineup. And at this tournament in particular, they have been really underwhelming, and that's happening with them playing some of their best maps, like Inferno, like Overpass.
Well, I mean, Stuchu put out a pretty funny tweet that was just saying one of these three players dropped 30 kills in the last map: Shox, Kenny S, and Lucas. I mean, that's the big thing. Right at the moment with G2, we're not even seeing the stars really coming to show up, which is kind of a dangerous prospect for a team that's now got to go up against SK. And I mean, obviously we know who this whole roster is, but if there's any team whose stars are showing up consistently, coldzera has been doing it for 2 years now, ever since he joined the roster.
Yeah.
Fur coming in, I mean, as a second player, he's been incredible.
And you mentioned the fact that, you know, coldzera's been doing it for 2 years. He has yet to show up this tournament.
Yeah.
Like, because he hasn't had to.
He's been chilling.
Yeah, you know, he's been sitting back in his lazy boy, just having a good time watching Fur, Phelps, and Fallen kind of do most of the heavy lifting. And that's, again, a terrifying notion if you're G2 going into this, because you know that Fur is feeling, you know that Phelps is on point, and Fallen is getting back to his own godlike form. So when you have coldzera just waiting in the wings as a fourth guy to just destroy your hopes and dreams, that's not a fun situation. And in addition to that, you know, I don't really know where G2 wants to go with this, you know, what kind of map if they have a map they could be favored against SK on. Like, that's obviously a massive issue. So
yeah, I mean, that's the next question, Yanko, is if you're on the G2 team, where are you thinking, where are you taking this to get back on the horse?
It's a very difficult situation, because they actually beat SK on LAN, on Overpass in a very dominating fashion, but now they had this underwhelming performance, very underwhelming versus Immortals, because they lose 16-10, I believe it was in the end, or 16-9, with winning both pistols. So they have that. They have a difficult loss against Cloud9 on Inferno. You know, if you're SK, actually, you're feeling pretty good right now, because you veto out Nuke, you don't play that. That's a very strong map for G2, 4-0 on that one. G2 is also 7-1 on Cobblestone, but you know, SK has the luxury of even vetoing Cobblestone if they like, and going back to Overpass. You know, the SK is the team that has the advantage here at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, all the advantages you can see up on the screen, that this is the roster we're looking at. Even Fallen, kind of, I mean, plenty is being said about coldzera. Fur, Phelps is playing very, very well. Fallen's getting a little bit of a resurgence of form. And if it's not like the high-impact games, it's the high-impact rounds that he's able to bring out.
Yeah, and that's all you want. I mean, you don't necessarily need more when you have three others doing a lot of work already. Right. And even then, you know, the guy who rarely gets brought up because of how high impact all the other players are, Taco. Again, he's not failing to do his job at any given point either. So even though he's not necessarily dropping 30 frags every other game like some of these players are, he's still just being a consistent factor to the point where, like, you can always rely on him to get 1 or 2 frags whenever his bomb site gets attacked, or do the right decision to delay, you know, a potential push, or just, yeah, make the right decisions, which is super beneficial. There's no real weak point in this SK lineup.
That's got to be the most intimidating thing if you're a G2 player at the moment, is just finding a weakness in the squad.
Absolutely. I think the problem also you have is after against such an aggressive team as SK is, you really, if the default is not working for you, if the players are not on point individually, as G2's players are not at the moment, you kind of want to switch to that more strategical style that they claim that they have been working on. But again, that style is meant to just give you an advantage, give you a higher chance of actually winning your fights when the time comes, right? The utility makes it easier for you, you eliminate some spots, you know which spots you need to focus on, you flash your entry fraggers in, but still, that makes it maybe a 70-30 or an 80-20 situation in your favor, but you still need to win that situation. It seems like G2 is even unable to win rounds or win those duels where they have an advantage. As you guys pointed out, none of their players are showing up individually on top of everything else.
Yeah, not a lot of advantages for G2 Go matchup, and if you agree with that kind of a sentiment that we're putting out there, make sure you get your vote heard. SK or G2 in the YouTube chat. Let us know who you think is going to win. We're going to pull those stats up. We see the percentages of who thinks how many fans we got of each one. We're going to pull the vetoes up right now. I mean, we were kind of curious where this was going to go. Now we get to find out.
And the one silver lining for G2 here is probably that SK is also unsure about their map pool at the moment. You can see this was, you wonder about this. They let Cbble through as the last map because recently SK has also been really, really strong on it. So that's something where they kind of play more to their own strengths as well. They don't want to target G2's weaknesses because if you want to go for that, you would probably feel more comfortable on playing Train or Cash.
I guess with the two last picks that SK could choose between, which is Cash and Cbble. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we even saw SK go with Cash, considering how well they played versus Fnatic. But again, different team that they're going up against. But in the same sense, I think Fnatic and G2 can be, compared to be pretty similar in terms of just how they approach the game, in terms of what kind of mentality they have, and how much individual skill actually plays a part of that. So yeah, a little bit interesting to see them actually allow Cbble to go through, but from what we've seen from them so far, it's been pretty solid.
Also seeing G2 V2 Inferno after that loss to Cloud9, you would expect them to be very comfortable playing that map against SK. I kind of dislike this from SK actually, because Cobblestone is the only map left in the pool that G2 actually plays and that they're probably going to feel very, very comfortable on. Now, sure, SK has looked much stronger in this tournament than G2 is, but you can never underestimate them. They always have that ability to bounce back, and I would have much preferred to have seen Train come out here from SK.
So this is opening a little bit of a window of opportunity perhaps for G2 to kind of slip through.
Yeah, and again, it is still a best of one, right? And we do know that they have the potential to have that. All they need is that one game where somebody goes off. If Shoxy, he's been underperforming so far this tournament. Well, the entire team has been underperforming so far this tournament. But if you have one good game from Kenny S, that could be, the solution that you need, or one good game from Apex where he just goes off. And we know that Apex usually is very, very solid when it comes to playing Cbble as well. Like he is kind of that starting, the one that starts everything for G2 in many ways on that map. So if he gets off to a good start, that could be all they need.
Yeah, well, they're going to need a lot out of their star players that we haven't seen quite yet in this tournament. We're going to head over to your casters. It's going to be once again Sadicus and Henry G to take us away.
Take you away to a place far, far away, if I could. Jason, just you and me and some candles. Sorry, Henry, you're not invited.
I don't want to come. That's absolutely fine. You guys go. I'll stay here, do the casting.
All right,
it's going to be G2 and SK Gaming. SK on the T side here. 3 sets of armor. Fallen and Coldzera, the utility players. And Shoxy, oh my god, getting nated to oblivion there. That looks like a bit of an anti-strat coming in there.
That's not bad.
Ooh.
Doesn't really work if it doesn't kill him, though, does it? Because he's still good enough that he'll take down Fur. As NBK sits atop the half wall, he manages to take down Taco on the CZ from a decent range and then jump across the wall to make sure that he's safe from the intruders at long. One of which is Coldzera. He's gone. Just Fallen remains. So G2 starting off well after losing to Immortals, shockingly, and SK, who played very well yesterday, Coldzera not included. I won't say he didn't play well, but he didn't stand out like he normally does. Are up against them now. This is an interesting battle when you look at it that way.
Yeah, so you're going from one Brazilian team to another. SK Gaming looking the most dominant in this tournament so far. Not really giving much away at all in the 3-0 victories they've had. It's going to be the pistol they're going in favor of G2 on the CT side. So a good start here. We'll see them get 2 rifles out. A rare appearance in the FAMAS and UMPs, of course, as well. And we're going to have the force buy from SK Gaming. No bomb going down on that pistol. So Tech9's PD50s and a deagle for Coldzera. 1 smoke being deployed towards the B site. All 5 players on this side of the map. Shoxy up close and personal on the upper platform, waits for the flashbang to come through. You should get a few frags here, so is MBK looking quite comfortable. 4 kills coming in total.
Down Shox at least, but he'll go down immediately after, so they manage another kill in this round. Just 2 so far. 1 for Taco, 1 for Fallen.
Indeed.
No bomb plants.
So, full eco Matthew.
Yep,
a chance just to maybe try and get a bomb down. Very unlikely. You normally just trying to aim to trade some frags, maybe get 1 or 2. That'd be nice. But G2, Shoxy not even buying a weapon this round. Okay, what does that mean?
What does
it all mean? So he gets the head armor.
Single pistol.
Yeah. So obviously against unarmored players, the USP's fine. Has lots of 1-tap potential, and this sort of range that's great. Good grenade. Seems to know Taco's there as well, pushing in on him.
Double nade, yeah, he's gone. The question is if he pushes too far and someone's watching from the corner to catch him off. So yeah, has to look, and then bye-bye.
That'll do.
Taco, again, going down to just the pistol for Shock. Builds him up some money. I imagine they'll run that double up setup for Shocks on this map. No doubt. Kenny, I think that Phelps with FAMAS. Fallen. Picking one up in return, takes down Shocks, but it's Kenny that's going to win out the round. FAMAS, not UMP, although we do still see two of them.
Yeah, it seems like the FAMAS has made a few more appearances. Obviously, we discussed the nerf of the UMP in depth on this broadcast so far, but if you're not aware, it's had its range slightly nerfed, right? So it's
I think
not
it becomes
powerful.
I think it becomes situational now based on map.
Sure.
Because, you know, maps, obviously Dusty's not in the pool, but Long A, for example, you wouldn't want to use it anymore. You'd want to use the FAMAS. Map like Cobblestone, lots of open angles and large, vast spaces. You probably want to go back to the FAMAS, but again, time will tell, and each player will have their preference.
Well, the first gun round here. Kenny S, of course, on the AWP, top middle for now. And will be backed up by Apex, is in danger with the SMG. And 5 AKs for SK, no falling AWP. But to be fair, he's been lights out with the AK. He's been tremendous across the board, really. Of all disciplines of Counter-Strike in this tournament, looking very good indeed. coldzera, not the best tournament, but he hasn't had to. They've had great results, 3-0 so far. And it's been firm and Fallen, and even Taco at times as well, have been stepping up. And we're going to see him all being on the CT side. Look out for that. It's the MBK, though, striking first in danger. coldzera gets a frag in return, though, 4-4. Plenty of time to work with. This is almost a bonus round for G2, right? They've still got SMGs and a FAMAS as well. It was difficult to win these rounds, but if you do, it sets you up fantastically going forward in terms of the financial situation.
Yeah, financial situation. Just like an investment in Bitcoin, Henry.
Yeah.
That sets you up fantastically.
Maybe in the next 10 years, we're looking into it.
Noted. So, over toward B. Phelps leads the way through. But taken down immediately, and Shock's playing Hobbit Hole with Kenny to bait him in. This is very good positioning from G2. Shock's doesn't even need to move.
Nice shots there for Fallen.
Yep, Kenny should have been dead, absolutely. You don't want to leave Kenny alive because he gets one more in cold as a result. Wait, Shocks, bang, bang, gone. Apex steals that one, but it's all right.
Well, okay. G2, they're turning up here. They've had a really up and down tournament, only picking up one victory so far against Envious, which was 16-14 on Nuke, I believe. Every other game has fallen away from them, most notably against Cloud9, 16-4 on Inferno. No one really saw that result coming. Bad tournament for Cloud9 as well, but they always seem to have those games every tournament. If you think about the Star Ladder as well, they'll have rough tournaments, and then they'll have that one game where they get something rolling and cause an upset in the group and almost determines the outcome of who makes it out. It's always quite interesting when they're in there. Tech9 is out for SK Gaming, 5 of those to be exact, some smokes as well. And nades being deployed towards the upper platform from G2 here. It looks like another smoke execution. Very common, you got the Tech9s out. Smokes all over the place, Molotovs, flashbangs, and he's trying to get the bomb down here. You have a chance to win the round, but we'll see what they can do.
Go from Shocks and Body as they continue to look rather untouched, unscathed, unchallenged to start things off. Phelps will take a bit of nade damage as he locks himself in toward E-Box, smoked off. Tech9 in hand only to work with, and it's Kenny that's staring him down. Not only that, jump in through the window. Apex somehow survives that. The Tech9, inaccurate for a change.
Apparently so. 5-0 for G2. That was the full execution from SK Gaming. So all the smokes, Molotovs on the tree as well, flashbangs going in, but mowed down. G2 playing in front of those smokes and sticking together, denying the plant as well. Looking very promising now. That's a big point as well. The fact they denied the plant means we don't get an AWP for Fallen, and no one really fragging too hard for SK as of yet. Fer, like we said, been the star player for them so far, 0 and 5 for him. And Kenny is still on the AWP. This time, changing his position. Was top middle last time. Goes towards danger, and he could get some action here. 3 players on this side of the map from the SK side. Phelps goes in towards middle. Flashbang's good, and Fallen finds the first frag.
Oh, down he goes in the flames. Got to 1 HP and wasn't quite away from it on that last tick. So Body getting Phelps back. That was going to give, as a result of that Molotov kill, G2 the lead at 5-0. Taco has apparently taken some speed this morning. Just bouncing around. Can't calm down, Henry.
Well, we'll see if he can. He's going to have to step up going into this situation. It is a 4-on-3 in favor of the French side. Taco low. 34 HP. They've got 1 smoke to work with here. No real control of the map. No one in drop down, and Taco holding towards the upper platform that is hoping they can get a pick in their favor. Just trying to run the clock down and waiting for a CD to make a mistake. That shouldn't be happening. Kenny is patrolling A by himself. He doesn't have to give much away there. Hold the top middle, get some intel, and he'll be very comfortable. So his teammates can focus on the B side of the map.
We'll push with Fer. They need the entry. That goes without saying. but they pay me, so I'm going to tell you anyway. Body weights, falls back, good angle, but Cold and Ferget too. They're going to take down Body as well. He goes low. They've turned this round from a 4 versus 3 to a 1 versus 3 as Kenny, the MVP, has it all to do. Bomb's going to be planted in behind the statue. He's Molotoved off left side, which means the planter has to stay on top of the statue, but he has an angle, and Kenny, I think, is going to back off this and give up. I think the money's fine, but he's just playing the long game. Yeah, money's more than fine. They've got 12-7 on Apex.
Yeah. So it's still, right, it's just playing the number game. It's making sure, yes, he could go in there, maybe find a couple of frags, but him saving his AWP just sets them up further, looking at the bigger picture there. So he gets to save a Tech9 as well. AWP, he's got a smoke, a flashbang, and a defuse kit, so it's worth saving up. SK Gaming, great recovery though. That was a 3-on-3 situation towards that B bomb site, which presumably would favor the CTs. They'd have the crossfires enabled there as well. SK were lacking grenades, but Fur, like he said, he's been quiet so far in this game. He finds 2 very crucial frags making his way into that B site. It was Fallen as well chiming in. And Kenny Esto doesn't really fancy that situation. Saves his AWP. His money isn't amazing, right? So if he goes down, he would have to go down to $0 to actually get the AWP out in the armor. So it's a good save by him. The replay, Cold Zero and Fur doing some work. Fur, great shots there. Take down Body and MBK. So round number 7. That's the loss bonus gone now. So SK Gaming needs to be very careful here. After the reinvestment, all the grenades, they do take themselves down to less than $1,000 per player on average. Losing this with almost guaranteeing eco going forwards. Kenny S, it's nice to follow him sometimes, see what he's up to. He's going to be towards danger once again. No AWP available for the SK side, and a double AWP setup for G2. This is quite a scary double AWP setup, I'd say. Turbulent at times. Shoxy and Kenny S, they can be amazing or a little bit disappointing. We'll see what kind of combo turns up today.
Yeah. There's a question. That certainly works. Phelps goes down. Flash gets Shox out of dodge. He could have actually potentially taken another shot down the lane there, but he plays the safe game and he's Molotoved off. He's still going to hold the stairwell. Missed shot now. He's got to make a decision. Smoke's down on either side. He should be able to get to Chicken Coop. Not quite. The smoke didn't cover off Fallen's position, and he reacts quickly to take down Body behind the statue. So it all falls apart in transition for G2.
Wow, Fallen's just going absolutely wild right now. 3 headshots with that AK-47. We said he's been good with the AK so far. Finally taken down by Apex. NBK chimes in as well. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 situation. Fur and Cold Zera separated from the bomber. Cold Zera is indoors. Dropped down, but NBK stepping up today. Been a very quiet tournament for him, by his standards at least. And now up to Fur. And towards the connector position as well. Bomb down on the upper platform. Needs to find his first frag. NBK with another stellar shot there. And Fallen, I'd like to see the replay from his POV, how he got those frags. He's been great with the AK-47. Unfortunately, though, the bomb does not go down. So it's going to be a really difficult round for SK going forward. And here's the replay right now. Fallen pushing through that smoke. How confident is he? Gets those first 2 frags, but then it falls apart. Shoxy will open things up with the AWP shot towards the upper platform. 6-1. A force buy, though, Matthew. UMPs and 2 Tech9s with the flashbangs and smokes.
Yeah, they're going all in. Goes back into this game. Drop down, and BK has to back off the window due to the flashes. The timing is good. Shox only manages 1. Flash again, Body's in the open. He's gotten to Hobbit hole though, and he still finds an angle that works out. As it is going to be NBK to take down Taco, swinging back into the mix, so they stand against the force buy rather unscathed. It was an interesting start that they got 3 players down, dropped so quickly, but they just couldn't handle the position at Hobbit.
Didn't really have the range or the grenades ready to do much with it. And like you said, Body doing a decent job there. Gets a couple of frags and brings round number 7 in favour of G2 here. SK have only 1 round so far. That's been another eco here. Lost bonus at second stage, that's $1,900, so brought in Desert Eagles PG-50s. Quite a fast and loose game from SK so far. Haven't seen that execution too much. We've seen it once with the Tech9s, not too much with the gun rounds themselves. They've been relying on Fallen just finding crazy opening frags, and it's going to be Taka to go down first here from what we can see. MBK takes that shot. That's on the upper platform, and it's going to be quite a clean round here. Objective for SK, maybe get the bomb down, just cause a dent in the economy for G2 overall. 1 or 2 kills would do, but the money's looking pretty decent for them. Apex with 10k. 6k on MPK as well. Shoxy and Body are low, so they want to win this round as cleanly as possible. MPK might be dropped here, but just about survives.
Not bad. Not bad. That'll do. Phelps really not in this. Deagle might get 1. Ooh. Walks into it.
What a one it was.
Placement. I thought it was going to be a little bit low, but the steps apparently worked in his favor. He knows what he's doing, Henry. He seems to be more integrated now, obviously winning at IEM Sydney. But the first few tournaments, it seemed Phelps was a bit of a loose cannon with them.
Yeah, they're obviously still working everything out. The fact is, when they come into tournaments and they say, we're not even sure what our best map is right now, suggests there's still work that has to be done. But yeah, it's looking better and better every tournament. 3-0 so far, but it's his group stages, right? It's difficult to gauge how good they are. We saw this from G2 as Star Ladder. They turn up and get the 3-0 in the group stages, then they just fall completely flat when the actual playoffs begin. And going from one of the hot favourites of the tournament from the form we saw in the group stages, and to almost a disappointing tournament overall when they got to the playoffs. So you have to take the group stages always with a pinch of salt in these best of ones, and it's always very up and down results, you know.
This is kind of clever because Shock's just cleared all these positions, so he's actually just kind of following him along.
I think
because he knows that
almost wants to. I guess he could survive. He's got 2K.
Yeah,
he's got the M4, so he can get armor with his teammates next round. That's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing at first. Like he wanted to go for the exchange and get another kill, but really he's just creeping along and had a chance to fire at Shocks and didn't take it. So
yeah, so he's still got 2K, so he can buy with his teammates. He can get armor and grenades as well. That's absolutely fine. So it's not a bad situation to be in. So 8-1, no AWP fallen once again. You can see how they've been limited with these 4 spies and lack of bomb going down. I think they've only had it down once. That's the round they won. That was in round number 6. So round number 10 now, 8-1 in favour of G2. This is a T-sided map still technically. It's a lot more balanced since the addition of the CT steps, but overall, SK are their form so far, and considering G2 has lost to Immortals as well, the second best Brazilian team compared to SK, I think they'd be running away with this one, but they haven't really turned up today. Still early days though. SK can still get 8-7. It's another buy round for them.
pop flash. Apex will back off to hold the angle of smoke. Fires into it with the silenced M4, so won't reveal any tracers, but he is going to be pursued. They're going to set up slightly higher to see above the smoke as it dissolves, but set up for smokes very likely toward the doors, or are they going to back off? Bomb's going back, so perhaps they're just going to play a default, try and evaluate B as well.
Long air control has been obtained. They've left Phelps there, boosted up. He has a choice now. He can either show presence and go for an attack on this side of the map and try and force a rotation, or he waits for the backstab. After his teammates are fully committed towards B, he comes in, goes through the connector. But look at the CTs towards middle. They're actually hunting for information here and pushing through the mid doors. They haven't discovered him, but this is shots once again. Damage inflicted. Just about survives there. This is going to be quite a messy round from both sides.
Spray down. MBK takes Taco. Good body. This is good positioning, good timing. He's gone all the way past Phelps, who stays out at long.
What's Phelps doing at this point?
Phelps has been way too slow, way too long, because body's there. Fur runs back and thinks he's safe.
Useless.
Yeah.
You had to strike. As soon as they started losing frags, he needs to be running. Knife out, get the connector. Let's try and get part of this round. Not 8 seconds, dude. Like you're saving. That's it.
Yeah. And Cole just has to hope no one checks inside of drop, which they're going to do right now. Jumping in, gets the first, but there'll be a follow-up shortly. Kenny and one above. He's down. Yep. He manages to get Kenny at the very least, but yes, down he goes. So Phelps really rules himself out, and no money for that. He's got to hold everything.
No money for Phelps or Cold Zera.
That's a good point. It was after the round, yep.
Yeah. Phelps, that was really disappointing for him. He does so well to get that position. They expended so much utility, right? To get him in that position, they have to use like 5 flashbangs, smokes, Molotovs, towards him, get him boosted up as well. The idea is, okay, cool, you're boosted up here, you're waiting for CD rotation, get some information. We'll go back towards B, we'll get a pick, then you come in. So he needs to be, as soon as they start interacting with the CTs, and as soon as they say, oh, they're pushing us, we're getting duels here, he needs to get knife out, at least challenging for rotations. He's still in that boost position after 3 or 4 frags have gone down in the round. He needs to be part of that round. He needs someone a bit more assertive in that situation. He's known to be an aggressive player. Where is that aggression? He's very tentative there. And had to save, no money. That's a almost useless save because his teammates can't really do much of this. I can see them force buying though. They're going all in, Matt, once again. This could be a really bad call. They've got 1 M4 and we're going... Okay, they're not going all in from what I can see. They're actually leaving 3 players of about $1,000. So with the maximum loss spend, it's not the end of the world. I thought they were going to buy all the nades as well. They just get Tech 9s, armor. Phelps got the M4. See how this works out for them. Looking for double digits here. G2 could be 10-1.
Apex waiting for the gap. Sees it, backs off, nade down. And a smoke as well. He's going to put himself in danger rather than get out. Bad smoke, though.
Yeah.
Goes back out, thinks about escaping, and he gets caught off by a Tech 9, held by Fallen. Try and make up for it. No one's pushed out danger. They get him through the wall. That's not bad. That'll do. Another gun grabbed. 3 in total now to go along with Phelps, who had the M4, and they've actually got a chance in the round as a result of it.
It's always those sort of situations you think, G2 now, they can lock this victory in, up against the Pistols, and they've got 1 M4 to work with. It always seems those rounds that elude these sort of teams. And now SK looking assertive here in round number 11. Going to get 3 guns, like he said. Lots of time to play with here. And going towards drop down, they'll make some noise. Body will hear it, but he pulls the nades out, and it's going to be out the window. It's one. Look at the second frag. It'll be difficult, but a lovely shot there from Body.
Yep, Bifer. He's fallen, takes down Body, brings it back to a winnable, although not really, situation at 1 versus 2, and MBK says no as he gets in position immediately. 10-1 G2. We could have 2 straight one-sided matchups.
So yeah, they get maximum loss bonus, and no bomb going down once again. This step is beautiful. He's a great guy. Well done, Body. And it's going to be 10-1. Round of 12. And like I said, they forced ball, well, not to say they partial ball into the previous round. They do get the AWP out this time, but they are lacking utility. Phelps no nades whatsoever. Similar story for Cold Zero. He had to opt for the UMP instead on the T side. Not ideal. Fallen though. First time we've seen him with the AWP on the T side. Let's see what he can do here. Needs to try and find this opening frag, but it's the double AWP set up once again. Shoxy and Kenny S. That formidable duo. Shoxy towards Chicken Coop for now. Throws a flashbang in. Looks like he wants to go for a pick on the upper platform. Sneaks past Fallen, and the duel will begin momentarily. I think he spotted him.
Yep, certainly did. And dead. Bye, Fallen. Thanks for playing today. Unfortunately, your numbers did not come up in the lottery. MBK backs off. Gives Drop a bit of space, so Shox will watch the D-box side of it. Fur's gotten down there, and MBK trying to rotate around to compensate for just that. Gets met from the window. So good read from Fur as he heard him wrapping around.
Well, 4 and 4. It's limited now. 1 smoke remaining for the SK side. What's going in? We can see, I think it's Phelps once again in that long A area. This time being a bit more aggressive. He can't just sit there in that boost position, or we could just find Apex at a horrible time at this point. And he deployed. Phelps, does he push through? I don't think so. Has to go now, though. Once again, the frags are starting to go down. This is the role he needed to do before, but he might be a little bit too low once again for bailing him out.
Shot Kenny to take Taco. But look at Phelps. He could actually win this. Back's turned from both of them. Oh, he fires immediately. If he'd waited, if he'd walked in, he may have gotten Apex timing. You never know if he'd turn or not, but he's now got it down to one-on-one spots. His foot goes back, and it's a straight duel at this point. Apex has managed to shuffle over to the right side.
Hide Apex.
His right, excuse me, Phelps is left, but you're right. Apex just has to hide 6 seconds, get the lineup, and he misses the shot. Phelps is able to win it. They'll get the second round finally, but they do it with only 1 surviving.
Why doesn't he just hide behind the tree at that point? That was insane.
Yeah, that did not have to be a fight. I think he got a little confident that he would win it.
I guess he's just hoping that Phelps just knifes out, tries to get towards the bomb. He hides behind the tree there. He's guaranteed a duel, and he's got more chance of winning, and the times will be super low as well. He could even make it into drop down. I guess at that point, he doesn't know if Phelps jumped back. It's unlikely considering the time remaining. I just got in towards drop down and turtle up and try and survive at that stage. But there it is. SK Gaming, Phelps, like we said, managing to get towards long A this time, being part of the round, gets connected with enough time to actually win the clutch situation. 10-2. Resets the loss bonus once again. Actually got the 5th stage once more. That was a 1v1 as well. Lose this round, committed double EK for SK. Falling with the opening shot this time. Takes down Kenny S towards danger. Nice work from him, a 5-on-4. SK not out of this round. Or game, I should say, just yet.
BK gets taken down by Fur. It's Taco that will hold the angle inside of the smoke.
Once again, Phelps makes it towards danger, and his teammates just in a default formation around. Now this time, going to be joining Phelps. We'll probably see a full execution towards A. That's a little flashbang towards B just to take the attention away from that side of the map. Hopefully hold a rotation there with Shox and Body. On that side of the map, they've got the 5 on 3 right now. So just grouping up, choosing one area, presumably A as well. It's likely there's going to be one player on that side of the map. 35 seconds remaining. This should be quite a clean round for SK overall. Unless Apex goes absolutely wild. Not known to be an AWPer.
Not
go, get rid of it.
To be an AWPer. Yeah. Miss 1 shot, I'm out. Yeah. Thanks very much. I'll go back to the gun I'm good at. He's going to have to be very good. It's 5 players walking in, and Fur's already got him down, knew exactly where he'd gone, checked it, covered it off, and Taco gets the safe plant in behind the hut. Shox, that's going to be greeted by Cold waiting on the off wing. Body peeks out, sees him, and it's over to the M4 instead for Cold to try and take the long duel. Fur's low on HP, spots him, but doesn't want to go back in because he'll go down. They need to keep all the guns up. SK winning 2 in a row. Exactly what they need if they want to make this toward 10-5, which is winnable. Again, you said it is a T-sided half, but it's still SK, and they're capable of great things.
Yeah, that Phelps clutch has got them right back into this game. It's actually gone to them 2 rounds in a row. And G2 now feeling the pressure in terms of the money. You get the double AWP set up as well, but still Apex, he's down to the shotgun. MBK is just on the CZ. I think he had to drop an AWP over. So they're really investing everything they've got into this double sniper setup as well. So UMP, CZ, Max 7, they could have got more in terms of rifles, but they wanted to allow Kenny S to go with his first pick. Shoxy towards middle this time as well. So he's being a bit more proactive. He's trying to make something happen at the start of the round. Looking above that smoke, cannot spot anything though. So he still needs to probably commit to this and see what he can do, considering the lack of firepower in his team. And smoke come in and take away his vision slightly. That's actually towards danger, so he can stick around for a little bit. Fallen though, I think he may have spotted him. Yeah, there it is, takes him down.
Right, nice repeat. Precise. Quick. Convincing. Cold Zero is going to take down MBK though, and again they find themselves in a favorable situation, if I'm not mistaken. This is it for the buys on G2, so they could well find 10-5.
It's looking that way.
Took them a while to wake up, but they got there, and Kenny might put them back to sleep as he gets Taco. Still holds position in toward Chicken Coop. Molotov's going to try and put him out. He's got a smoke in front that allows him to fight forward aggressively. Fallen just waiting for it, finds his second kill in the round, then Apex is going to try and save the AWP.
Yeah, Apex all he really can do, like we said. Not an AWPer, won't be going for this clutch, and we'll see whether he can hold on to it. He's currently by the connector for now. I'd say he really wants to get a little bit further away. It's not going to really matter if he finds kills or not. It's the last round going to the next one, so it's interesting that he's holding towards the connector. I'd just be well out of this. Your team's got no money next round. It's really not worth trying to get one kill here. But he's got no armor. AWP in hand, one flashbang. And doesn't matter, the T's will be hunting him down. So he should be absolutely fine, but that's actually gaming once again. Fallen, slower play this time. As soon as you get the AWP out, it seems like he's hitting the shots again and taking out Kenny S. That time was Shoxy as well. They went all in that double AWP setup. Didn't really work out for them, only finding a couple of frags. But that was down to NBK with the CZ, managing to kill one and think Cold Zero as well. And then Kenny S with the first AWP shot. You could see how overwhelmed he was. Once he was towards Chicken Coop, Molotov lands on him. He'd already deployed his smoke like 5 seconds before as well. So frustrating to watch that for him. And it's SK Gaming picking up the round. Looks like Apex will save his AWP as well. So yeah, SK right back into this game, man. Like, it was looking bleak at 10-1. I thought, okay, this is it. G2 finally woken up in this tournament. Here's the repeat from Fallen. You see Kenny S is burning alive on the reface.
Yeah, he put the smoke out early, which was an interesting thought. Unfortunately, it went forward of where the Molotov landed, and then his intention to use it aggressively didn't really work. Apex gets towards danger in our last round of the half. They will force buy-in, quite obviously, so they'll go with the UMPs from us and then the saved AWP, which Kenny now has. First got Apex down immediately.
Now they're waking up.
Yeah, looking more convincing. Ooh, Kenny. That's quite aggressive considering the call was just made there pushing the corner. He goes to spar off with an AWP, and Cold Zero's got NBK down as a result. This round's done as well. We are going to get our 10-5 half, Henry.
Certainly are. This will be very important. Double digits on the city side. Still a great half. Both teams will be happy, all things considered. After going down 10-1, it finished the half 10-5. SK Gaming will be happy with their recovery. A bit more assertive towards the end, especially when they kind of sorted the financial situation. I think that was a massive problem for them overall. Lots of force buys, lack of bombs going down as well. As soon as they stabilized, got the AWP out. First had to hit some great shots as well. Fallen, this is the AK round. Looked amazing. We said 10-5. Both teams will be happy with that. It's going to be a very important set.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Lenovo Legion, Xfinity, ESCA, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, Logitech G, and Zowie.
Well, a look at either side of things as we switch sides and start off halftime number 2. Not only is everyone playing on Zowie monitors, but all of those computers, Henry, are lightning quick because they're on i7 quad cores,
Well,
which is why the server conditions are excellent.
that's important. The servers are i7, the PCs are i7. It's the best you can possibly get. Go get them if you want to be as good as these guys. That's a bit. Is that a bit much?
Well,
Too much?
let's not give anyone some false hopes here. They'll all be calling Intel and saying, why am I still Silver 2?
I'm going all in.
Why am I still a Silver 2? Well, it's not Intel's fault, son. Maybe you should put.
But it would help. It would certainly help.
It would. But it is SK that's had the change of momentum going in their favor. As we mentioned, they made a comeback from a 10-1 situation to bring this 10-5, and now with Pistol, they could find themselves in the game. Fallen's going to start that off, testament to it. But Fur is found, and Kenny and Shocks go to work. That duo that won the dual tournament, the HGC 2v2,
yeah,
seem to be stepping up again here. NBK gets cold, and it is down to Fallen, the man who got the kill to start it off way over toward B. Now, is limited at the doorway, so G2 find 11 rounds already on a T side.
Absolutely. Very fast and assertive pistol there from G2, straight toward that A site. Looked like SK Gaming would run away with it. They get their first frag there, 5-on-4, but Kenny S and Shocks, like you said, going to town towards long A. That player boosted up in the CT long A area as well, but his head blown off with a 180 shot. That looked tremendous. 11-5, of course, the force buy coming in from SK Gaming, following the AWPer, of course. He only gets a Deagle. No armor, wants to make sure he gets a sniper rifle in the first gun round. That's if they do not win this one. It's always a chance, considering 3 MAC-10s on the T side. Second round buy. This is a little bit peculiar. This could come back to haunt them. The MAC-10 against armor, especially, you know you're up against armor. Not known to be the best. It's a cheap weapon, sure, but the UMP is not that much more expensive. I'd say you almost definitely want that. This could actually be a bit of a blunder from G2.
It's fallen back. It's Apex that'll catch Fur, who did get a kill on body beforehand. But I think it's going to be straightforward. Processional at this point. Kenny manages to survive. He has a hat trick. Do you know what a hat trick is, Henry?
When you score 3 goals.
In hockey.
Well, it's football as well.
Do they use it in football? Okay, well, hockey's cooler, so we're going to go with hockey.
Hat trick hero.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the next hockey game tonight?
There is, yeah. Pens versus Preds, and if the Pens play as bad as they did in game 1 with the first period aside, Preds should win that.
Well, I'm sure we'll be there later. Live from the bar.
Pittsburgh, not the bar. We'll be at the bar.
Okay. Fair enough. 12-5, and it's going to be a full eco here for SK. Looking down the barrel at 13-5 against G2, have had a real rough tournament. Like we said, most notably dropping to round 9, 16-4. No one really saw that coming on Inferno of all maps. So that just goes to show you how difficult this tournament has been for G2. Not really set the world on fire as of yet. They've won DreamHack Tours. Not really a premier tournament in itself, but at least it's on home soil. Bit of morale boost, I guess. Just talking over this round, it doesn't really mean that much. SK can really do much there, I'm afraid. 13-5. Now, let the games begin, Matt. Here's a replay of a MAC-10 kill. Let's have a look.
You're so punctual. A replay of a MAC-10 kill.
There it is. That was great. Worth the replay, in my opinion.
Hey, listen. Don't knock on production, okay?
I'm just saying.
They'll make your mic sound really weird. Or just mute you.
Well, MAC-7s, UMPs, they've fallen. AWP. Coldzera gets that in. 4 kill takes down NBK. Tried to have a little fast play. This is another bonus round that we described in the first half. You've got some SMGs left over. NBK trying to be a bit sneaky there. Trying to find the unarmored heads of the potential CTs on the other side. There are 2 available to him, but he gets taken down by Coldzera with the M4A4. Didn't drop too much HP as well, so he'll be surviving. Just leaving the drop room open now, but this is an A-side contact play, and Fallen could get caught with his pants down, but not today.
Good shot to take out Apex. He's going to continue to watch him towards Stables. He gets tripped up by the shoulder peak, and the jumping Shocks is going to push through the smoke and gets away somehow. With damage done, there's still a man down. 2, in fact.
No kits, Matt.
Count correctly. Maybe Blue needs to teach me how to count. His body's going to plant the bomb in behind the hut. It's Kenny that catches off Phelps. That's very well done, and you're right. No kits. Every kill is significant for G2.
3 of them in the vent room as well.
3, 2, 1, go. And Kenny says no to the first one. Kenny realizes there's more there and tries to find a better angle. Shocks underneath Falcon. He needs to be aware that Cold has made it in, and he certainly is. They're going to shut down everyone on entry. No access for SK. We're going to find 14 rounds G2 relatively early.
They got the first 2 kills as well there. Fallen with the AWP frag and Coldzera and NBK early on. They had that contact play towards long A, and it is burst out. They've probably had intel that Fallen normally plays there by himself as well. Top middle, bit of a gamble. Didn't have protection from the long A area. Hits that first shot, sure. But then he has to fall back towards connector. The utilities deployed. G2 overwhelmed. Like I said, no kits. Meaning SK don't really have time to go for a full retake there. To push through the choke angles, choke points to stay really quickly. And Kinias really every single shot. They had 3 players in that Venom and got punished for it. Has to be a force by him up. 14-5, UMPs, 2 Max 7s as well. And no kits, of course. Got a bit of utility to play with here, but this is a real dicey run. I'm not sure how you win these ones, but the Max 7 always seems to deliver on cobblestone. Something about that weapon in this map. Let's see if it works out for them. Fallen with that aforementioned shotgun in middle. Same story for Fur, who's a long A. So shotguns deployed on the A side of the map. UMPs towards B.
What is that Peaky's doing with the crouching?
I don't know.
Okay, I like it. He's just hoping someone's going to walk around the corner at the right time, so he's trying to crouch peek and pre-fire.
Just spots a pixel then. Just an awkward angle for the T.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you're that repetitive. I'd get sick of doing it. I'd get bored and then just walk out carelessly and die. He's still doing it.
Very committed to it.
My pinky finger would hurt by now from pressing shift.
Or control.
Or control, you're right. Actually, I don't even remember what I have. I know when I'm playing, I don't actually think about it. Muscle memory. Phelps does take down at least one, swinging out from the flames, but he'll burn alive to Apex as MBK gets Taco. Does mean they have to trade back, and they manage at least one, so we stay level. However, it's 2 shotguns and a UMP against the AK of Shocks, which has good position all the way deep in the site past the statue. He's swinging in to watch Evox. Spray transfer not successful. It's Kenny that gets the kill, but we find map point for G2.
It's group stage, a group of death in Group A map. It's definitely provided some interesting results, up and down, some very one-sided affairs throughout. SK Gaming, just to remind anyone at home, were 3-0 here, and I think the stat was yesterday, they didn't drop a single T round in day 1, which was kind of insane. Like, that's kind of unheard of, really. But now, looking down at G2, have had a really rough tournament, 15-5. They have to go for another force buy here. Max 7s, UMPs, but Fallen, he's got the scout, and his blows off. Kenius has had to kick things off. Why not?
Yep.
They're back.
The boys are back in town. I don't know if anyone knows that song, so I can't sing it now. Cold Zero is going to take down NBK. Buddy in the smoke gets tagged up. He's got to be very, very careful, and somehow with a flash, he thinks he's fancy enough to find more than just a kill. He goes for 2, comes out with none. It's going to be Apex. Has to clutch back, but it goes down to 14 immediately. So I would say we've got at least one more. Yeah, get rid of the guns. Doesn't want to give them up. Goes to the CZ instead. And he's just going to be a sacrificial death at this. Okay. We should have just kept the AK.
Well,
he was taking the scout to throw it over the wall too, by the way.
Sure.
He was getting rid of everything.
Get rid of the scout. You're not having this. Well, 15-6. G2 have plenty of cash, and Apex doing some damage there. A couple of kills. It's Phelps taking them down on the platform. Nice work by him. Good use of the angles, using the smoke to his advantage as well. It's going to take 9 rounds in a row now for SK just to force overtime. Very unlikely, but if ever there was a team to do it, this would be it. They never give up, never surrender. We'll see whether they can actually do the impossible here. Fur kicks it off nicely there with the first kill taken on Apex once again.
Fallen waits in behind the wooden door. Kenny with the AWP crosses the angle. MBK will lead off. And it's Fur tagged up so heavily early in the round. That's going to try and hold the angle. Can't do it. NBK with the shot. Opening up. Missed shots for Fallen. Dead. Absolutely. When Body comes in as the second man to the equation. Could be the end of the game there alone because it's only 1 kill so far for for SK, as G2 is finding the entries. However, Phelps gets one back. But Kenny spraying him down. He's got to be very careful. Taco just continues to fire in the same position. No hiding in behind the stable wall. And the HP now does favor the CTs.
Oh, what a shot.
That's very good. HP is gone now. Take that back. There's 11 more for G2 to work with.
Well, it's match point. Taco in a 2 versus 1. Bomb makes his way towards the A side. Taco looking to push through the smoke, but Shoxy takes him down. Bye-bye, SK. It's going to be 16-6. What a performance. What a turnaround after losing to the lesser Brazilian team. Immortals, G2 bounced back with a 6-6 victory over SK. Have looked the most formidable team so far in the tournament. 3-0 so far in the groups, and they can't turn up on cobblestone.
And if they'd won that game, they would have been straight through to the semi-final, guaranteed.
Top.
And now,
Hi.
I think they'll still make it through. Hi.
Hello.
Hola.
How you doing, all right?
Bonjour.
So, what does that mean? This means Group 8 has got very interesting indeed. It was already kind of back and forth.
What is the group of death? We couldn't go through it with a straightforward.
Well, exactly, right? So that's exciting. We've had some interesting results today. SK Gaming, not as strong as yesterday, it seems. Maybe it was a bit of a flash in the pan for them. That's not the same team we saw yesterday, I have to say.
It's not at all, I have to say. Now, interestingly,
Go on.
there's a man on the desk who, unlike me, I needed the makeup artist to fill this divine beard in to make me look like a real man.
Mine was fine.
Yours was fine, and so too was Jason Moses O'Toole's.
Listen, when Henry gets his going, we're all going to be put to shame. It's going to be a dark day.
Going to take a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, he's already working his way up towards November. I mean,
Yeah, he is. He's getting an early start.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk. This is the ESL Pro League Season 5 Finals, Day 2. That's a nice win for G2 there. We talked a lot about how they had been disappointing leading up to this. Before this map, it had been 0 T rounds lost for SK. They lost 10 T rounds in the first half.
Was a much needed win for G2 as well in a tough situation on the table too. But that's why I pointed out that I don't think this was a good veto process from SK. I think they were maybe a bit overconfident with their performance. Now, sure, SK was undefeated on Cobblestone with this lineup on LAN coming into the game. But as I said, you look at the map pool for G2, Cobblestone is the only map that they could get because, you know, SK is going to veto out Nuke. They're not going to play like Overpass after the game against Immortals most likely. So that's the only map that they can get. They're very confident on still. They're 7-1 themselves on LAN, and I really do feel strongly that SK should have gone for either Train or Cash. Both of those maps, even though they're not as strong for SK as Cobblestone is, I think they would have had a better chance when you just look at where the confidence is for both of these teams right now against G2.
Yeah, I think the differential between the maps in terms of how strong they are, it's just like it's much smaller on a map like Cobble than what it would have been on Cash, from what we've seen out of G2 at least so far. So for G2, in many ways, it was a dream veto. That was the best case scenario for them, and they took full advantage of it. And we talked about how, you know, they only needed that one guy to kind of get things going for them. It wasn't Apex, it wasn't Kenny, it wasn't Shocks, but it was
my boy.
It was your boy, the natural-born killer. NBK, he has had a pretty terrible tournament leading up to this point, but I think it's safe to say that he kind of made up for it. You know, because he broke your heart on day one.
I know he did.
But he's coming into
he's back. He's been hitting up the ACA pugs. He's been hitting up the ACA rank S. He's doing a good job.
It's clearly working. Yeah.
But I mean, he obviously had a great game. But what's very important is which position does he play? And he plays around the drop zone.
Yeah.
You could see a number of times him holding drop by himself, getting a kill or two before dying, which is a lot of work because for SK's T side, drop is actually one of the most important parts of the map that they hit, and they go for that B execute. That's where Phelps sometimes goes by himself, and he actually makes the difference on that flank, getting great timings to get that kill and kind of split the defense from the CTs. In this game, that couldn't happen, and also in some of those rounds, it did seem like Phelps was a bit too passive on his flanks, as Henry pointed out during the cast. Like he had to be a bit more assertive in those rounds because he was in no position to help out his team once things start going wrong.
Yeah, and I mean now this is with SK. I mean they mentioned on the desk as well. This still keeps this group wide open. At the same time, that could have secured them moving on into the semifinals. Still a very good chance they'll be going through, but leaves some possibilities for movement. Let's touch a little bit. We'll get a little bit of a B stream update because this was kind of crazy. I didn't follow this map at all throughout that match. It was Envy beating Immortals 16-2. So we just saw Immortals beat
what
G2.
map? Was that Cobble?
Was it Cobble as well? Yeah.
So Frenchie's having success on Cobble.
Yeah, Frenchie's loving Cobble right now.
Yeah.
Chateau.
That's true. It's right, you know, back alley for them.
You're so proud of that one, aren't you?
Their home turf, Jason. It's their home turf.
Right. But I mean, how does that kind of happen? Is that just a bad map for Immortals, I guess, perhaps? But I mean,
it used to be a pretty
beat
decent
G2
map.
and then go into something like that.
It used to be a pretty good map for them, honestly.
That's right, yeah.
Like, and again, for a lot of the Brazilian teams, the map that they kind of make their stand on was initially a Mirage, and then they, you know, transitioned into Cobble, and they played the similar way a lot of times. What we saw from the Pro League season, or the regular season, really, with Immortals is just nonstop aggression towards that V-bomb side. They would rush that happily 15 times in a row, wouldn't care. They wouldn't have a single worry, and it would actually work out pretty well because Lucas and Steel actually are pretty pretty solid at finding openings as they run through smokes on B plateau early on in the round. That creates space for FNX to play that position towards drop room earlier.
Well, it's kind of funny as well because the last Pro League finals they went into it with like an undefeated record on Cobbled and then dropped like 3 maps. So ESL Pro League finals not kind to Immortals Cobble. Let's take a look at the updated standings for Group A at the moment. We'll see how all this has shuffled things around. 3-1, SK and Fnatic tied at the top. G2 and Envy tied at 2-2. So this makes things a little bit more structured, a little bit more organized, I guess is the best way to put it. But still, a lot of teams tied, a lot of chances for tiebreakers in here at the end of this group. Anything jumping out to you guys? I mean, the French team's kind of making a late surge.
Yeah, late surge from the French, but it also means that Fnatic have an opportunity to get a grip on a first spot. They're going up against G2 in the next matchup. Obviously, that's going to be massive for both teams involved, and it's going to be interesting again if G2, if this was a flash in a pan from them, or if they've actually found their stride a little bit.
Also, I mean, something that's very interesting here is you look at the last matchups that you have. SK is playing Envious, most likely. Let's assume that they're going to win that game. They're 4-1. We have the Fnatic G2 matchup, in which if we have Fnatic win, for example, we could have a three-way tie for that third place between G2 Esports, Envious, and also the winner of Cloud9 Immortals. So that's something that's very, very possible. Again, we could also have a bunch of 3-2 ties if G2 beats Fnatic, and if we have an upset in terms of Envy beating SK.
A lot of possibilities. We're going to head to a quick break, but when we return, it's going to be that last match in Group A. That's going to figure out if we have the tiebreakers, who's going to be playing who. So stay tuned for the resolution of Group A.